What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics. And up next, we are going to be talking about this book here, Foxhole #2, and why you need to make sure that you always check the interiors of your books when you receive them if you're buying books raw. Doesn't matter who you pick them up from, there can always be something that gets missed, and it can really impact the value. All right, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So what we've got here is a copy of Foxhole #2. This is a book that is done by Jack Kirby, and it's his experiences during the war. I actually showed another copy of this one recently, a graded copy that had restoration that I was going to have removed. Now, I had gotten this one in, and this was graded as a 3.5. I paid quite a bit for it, around $1,600. And there was a 3.5 that had sold maybe earlier this year for I think around $3,500, somewhere in that range. So I paid a lot for this. And you can see, like, from the front, it is a great looking copy. Really nice color strike. It's got a little paper loss up in the corner here. It's got some wear along the spine, a little bit of wear up here, but overall from the front, looks better than a 3.5. You know, a very solid presenting copy. Then we go to the back, and on the back, again, little paper loss here. It looks like kind of like a deep, it doesn't fully tear, but it's a deep indentation to the cover here. But that one made me think I needed to check the interior. I always check the interior anyway, but I wanted to take a closer look, and a little tear down here. Even with this, I still thought this was probably above a 3.5, maybe a 4, might even get a 4.5. So at first I was very happy with this pickup. But of course, you always need to check the interior. So I'll do a quick flip through as well so you can see that. And so if we do a flip through, here we can see we start here with that opening page. And I figure this is a book that you don't see, so I thought it would be fun to show the interior of this one as well. And we just start flipping through the book. And yeah, just really incredible art. It's also Kirby interior art as well. I mean, it's his stories, his cover, his interior art. So these are really pretty incredible books, and they are uncommon. You don't see them, and they command a pretty significant amount of money when they come up for sale, just because they are so tough to come by. So we're just here's that. This Foxhole #1, this is a very expensive book. This is the one you normally see, the one that most people associate with this title. But there are other issues from the run that are quite in demand and quite valuable. So we're going through, we're at the centerfold. You can see it's got both staples fully attached. So far, so good. You know, everything looks good with this book. But we are about to come across a very serious issue with this one. And here we are. Now, you might not see it yet. It kind of hides itself at first until we lift the page. There is a big piece, about a silver dollar size piece, out of this interior page. And it doesn't just go into the margin. If it was just in the margin, wouldn't be a big deal. But this goes into the art, affects the story, impacts the word bubble. You've got text that's missing there. This is a very serious flaw. It's hard to estimate for me what this might get when it gets graded. The way I like to look at it is it's about the size of a Marvel value stamp. And so with a Marvel value stamp, that your max grade is about a 2 to a 2.5. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this would cap this book out at about a 2.5, somewhere in that range. And like I said, I paid $3.5 money for this book, around $1,600 for this book. So when I identified this, and then you can see, this is where you can see that from that back cover, what passed through. There's a big tear here. Not a big deal though. That's not a big deal to me. And then there's a continuation of, there's a little bit of a tear here. You can see it. There's a little bit of a tear here, and then a little bit of a tear here. And then you go into the back cover there. So this is why you need to make sure you flip through and check all of your books when you buy them raw. I mean, if you're buying dollar books or that kind of thing, maybe not as big of a deal. But with something like this, where this is a $1,600 comic with the potential of being a $3,000+ comic, you have to do your due diligence, go through the books, check them, and make sure that they are complete. So, like I said, I reached out, I got approval for the return, I'm sending the book back, everything is fine there, but you always have to make sure you check your interiors, because anything can be going on the inside. There could be restoration, all that kind of stuff. But in this case, missing piece on the inside, and goes into the story. So I think it's going to have a pretty significant impact on the book. I do not think that this book with that can get the grade it was sold as. And so I decided to return it. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Got something out of it. You know, it helps you realize why you do really need to check those interiors. Doesn't matter how big or small the seller is, people miss things. It's not like it's always malicious or something like that, but people miss things, and it is your money and it is your responsibility to check. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, all that kind of stuff, and I will see you in the next video.